What is going on, guys? So I got a different type of video. Today is about social media. There's a lot of misconception around social media, how much money the people make on there, how much free time influencers have when it comes to like not working a job, the work that they put in to make their content. I have somebody right here who is a perfect person to ask these questions to. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Sierra 2Fit and I have 161,000 followers on Instagram currently as a weight loss influencer.
So we got 15 questions we're gonna ask her, how she moves, like what she does on a day-to-day, finances. Let's get started with the questions. So question 1, can you describe a typical day in your life as an influencer? What does that look like for you?
A typical day for me looks like waking up, getting some breakfast in me first and foremost, going to the gym, and immediately creating content, whether I'm starting to film at the gym or I come home and I immediately film. I'm always creating content throughout the day. I'm always thinking of new ways to create content, real ideas, YouTube ideas, business ideas, and yeah, that's pretty much it. From start to finish, from like literally from when I wake up to when I go to sleep, yeah.
What inspired you to start your journey as an influencer?
To start, well, actually, I started on like Dub Smash and Triller, like back in those days. Like, yeah, I've been on the social media for a really long time, but I started because I really liked the dance movement back then. Like, I started off dancing, and that kind of took off, and then I would get into eventually like doing freestyle raps and then makeup, and eventually I found out like this is something that I could do to make money. And especially growing up in the household that I grew up in, I didn't want to have a job. I knew that I wanted to be free from the moment I was like 13 years old. I wanted to just be financially free and live whatever life I wanted to live. And I knew that content creation could like take me there. So that's really what inspired it.
How long would you say you've been doing it?
9 years.
9-10 years almost?
Yeah.
Wow, so almost a decade. Question 3 is, what are some common misconceptions about the influencer lifestyle? So a lot of people think wake up, have fun, go online, go to sleep, get money.
I mean, they're not necessarily wrong. When you compare the influencer lifestyle to a 9-to-5 lifestyle, it is a lot more fun. Like, you can't say that it's not that much more fun because you do get to work around your own schedule, live your own life, be your own boss. However, common misconceptions that people usually have when it comes to the influencer lifestyle is just a free reign to do whatever you want all the time. You just have money to blow, vacations to go on. And while that might be true for like people who do travel content because they get paid to go on these excursions and things like that, a regular day-to-day influencer is actually busting their ass 9 times out of 10 harder than a 9-to-5 worker when it comes to hours put in. So it does take a lot of hard work, and sometimes you don't even get whatever you put in. You'd really have to stay consistent. For years, you have to be consistent in order to actually see results come out of it.
Never letting up. You never let up.
No.
Question 4 is, what is your best tip to blow up as an influencer? Question 4 is, what is your best tip to blow up as an influencer as someone who has scaled multiple businesses and social media accounts online?
My number one key tip will forever be consistency. It doesn't matter the type of content you put out, it doesn't matter the quality of content. Obviously you want to improve quality over time, but once you get started, that's the hardest part, is just starting. And then once you get consistent with it, you will eventually find your niche, you'll find your people, you'll find your audience, and then from there you can literally start scaling the type of content that you make.
So hold on, you mean to tell me I just can't post a reel and not post for like 3 months?
No.
And wait, what? Are you serious? Wow, so that's news to me, I guess. I thought you could just post and leave it there and you could just go viral and you don't have to do anything. So, shit, damn, so consistently every day, would you say out of the 7 days in a week and the 24 hours you have in a day, how long, in a 24-hour period, how much of that time is used to create content?
For me, I personally spend 12 hours literally always thinking about content and creating content. Like everything, you can turn anything into content. If you're reading a book on your couch, you can film it and turn it into content. If you're outside at a park playing with your dog, you can film it and turn it into content. Everything is always content. If you want to be consistent and you want to become an influencer of some sort, you have to be always creating content or thinking of the next way that you can create a piece of content for whatever you're doing. And then eventually you find your niche and you can just create content around your niche solely.
Question 5 is, how do you ensure your income remains steady despite fluctuations?
A lot of people are actually terrible with their money when it comes to entrepreneurship, and I'm not best. I'm trying to get better with my actual finances myself. But one thing you can't do is go blowing your money. It takes money to make money, so once you get a little money in your pockets, you actually should spend money making more money, and either go invest in a business, you invest into a side hustle, whether that be buying materials or higher quality equipment, a better camera, or you buy subscription-based websites that help you repurpose content a little bit quicker so that you can get more content pushing out there. Either way, the way that you get money is the way you should be spending your money, and that way you get more money in. And once you start getting more money in that you can actually pocket, that's when you should start investing your money into a stock account or a Roth IRA, even real estate at some point. Whatever you like to invest in, it should be something that is going to get you money back in the end.
Question 6 is, do you see influencer work as sustainable for the long term?
For some people it might be. Creativity is a passion. For some people, creativity is not a passion, and therefore they fall off and it becomes a chore, or it's too hard for them. But if it's something that's easy for you, or it's easy going and you're into it, and it's something that you actually like to do, or you're at least passionate for the money aspect, financial self-help books, or you become financially fit, as they would call it, you can definitely make it a long-term career, and you can start investing into other businesses, like I said before, and definitely create some side income or even mainstream income from whatever side hustles or businesses you come up with in the long term.
Content creation is the only way. If you don't want to be homeless, might want to get off your ass, pick up a camera, pick up your phone, grab some friends, go outside and get some fucking content. Because if you don't, every other option is going to be laid out for you. You want to go to college, you want to fucking work at McDonald's for the rest of your life. This is all that in one. So pick a camera up, do your thing.
The way I see it is, if you put all the hours into college, the way you put all them hours into your 9 to 5, hire yourself and put in that same exact amount of time, and you will see so much more money out of it. Better than any corporate job, a doctor even. Like, tattoo artists make $100 an hour. That's a side hustle. You could even create content out of that as a YouTuber, teaching other people how to tattoo, create a side business out of that, and eventually create your own tattoo soap. And then you have your own line of soap supplies in the long term. You can literally create a business out of anything, create content out of anything, like I said. Hire yourself. As much as you put time into these people, jobs, and school, do it for yourself as well. Pick up a camera, make some content, just do it.
Question 7 is, from your experience, do influencers lie about how grand their lives actually look on social media?
In my personal experience, absolutely. People are always lying on social media to make their lives look so much more grand than they actually are. A lot of people have these luxury apartments, and to be honest, sometimes it's not always sustainable. Sometimes people are battling sicknesses. Sometimes people are losing their homes behind the scenes and you wouldn't even know it, or they're dying and drowning in debt just because they wanted that new Benz truck that they wanted to just post on their Instagram. A lot of people won't talk about it, but I talked to a couple of influencers in their DMs. They're having a lot of troubles with hate comments, and they're going through a real bad depression. They will still post their day-to-day life and how grand it looks. They'll wake up, make their breakfast, go to the gym, make it look all happy, and feed people lies, basically. And it is a form of content creation, but it's not always what you think it is. Some people are still working 3 jobs while they're still trying to create content, but making it look like they're just going on vacations all day, every day.
So be honest, would you say when it comes to your style of content or your brand, do you keep it real?
I do. I personally try to keep it as real as possible without exploiting my life too much behind the scenes. I share when I have bad days, those real emotions. For example, the loss of my brother when I was grieving, I shared how I got through that for the most part. I wasn't trying to make it seem grand and like I'm always doing something super exciting. I'm literally just trying to lead on the same type of people that came from where I came from, which was the mud, basically. I definitely try to keep it as real and raw as possible without exploiting too much of my real life behind the camera.
Question 8 is, do you get paid based on views, or do you need some outside source of income?
So it really depends. Instagram is really picky and choosy, specifically Instagram. I know TikTok monetization, they do pay-per-view, but it's really not that great. And once you get monetized, 9 times out of 10 you get shadow banned. That's kind of their system that they play with people. With Instagram though, there are some creators that have the option to monetize based off of views, and there are some that don't. I personally don't have that option. I don't know why. Instagram literally gives different versions of its app to different people. There are some creators out there that do get a decent amount of income just based off of virality and plays simply, but me personally, I don't. So I do have to kind of lean towards brand collaborations and outside sources of income, like graphic design or whatever I do on the side to get some extra income.
Question 9, name something people don't tell you about being an influencer.
I think the amount of time that goes into it, really. A lot of people really think that it's just as simple as picking up a camera sometime and just just posting it, which you can do that, right? But it's low quality content. And when you want to start creating more quality content, it does take a lot more time. Editing takes time to practice. Just like anything in this world, practice makes perfect. So when you're first starting out, it can be really time consuming to figure out what kind of programs you want to use to edit, to figure out how to get different formats and different, qualities, your actual quality of content.
Question 10, how do you handle the pressure of maintaining a constant online presence? That just must be a lot on your shoulders to have to appear to 160,000 people every single day.
Well, honestly, yeah, hate comments can be a lot, standing in front of what seems to be millions of people all the time. It can put a lot of pressure on you. But if you just ignore the hate, or you at least respond in a way that just kind of makes it seem like a joke, you really gain more of a fan base, which is in turn more support. And when you have like a brain like mine, where I'm always thinking about the next piece of content to create, I can literally take hate and turn it into content, and that just drags more and more people into your page. It's funny because a lot of people don't like hate on their page, but for me, I say it actually puts more money in your pockets, because the way it goes is once you get a hate comment and you actually have some fans reading that, they reply to the hater replies to them, your fans keep coming back to the video, and every time every person replies to each other, it's another view, which is another dollar in your pocket, in my opinion, because brands are going to see your virality and they're going to want to reach out eventually if you keep going viral. And that's all with hate too.
So embrace the hate, right?
Embrace the hate, make fun of yourself. just it's not that serious at the end of the day. It's really not that serious. It's just a fucking phone, it's just the internet, and it's just people trolling. It's not that serious. Just make your money out of it.
Question 11, what challenges do you face that people might not be aware of?
That's a good question. I guess content blocks. Content blocks can be a real pain in the ass sometimes when you really want something to post, but you don't really know what to post. Or sometimes there's these certain cases where you have so much that you have to post, where you're collaborating with 7 different brands at once, and then you're like, oh my God, my schedule is so full, I don't know when to post this or when to post that. And when you're like me, I'm still trying to work on my organization skills. I'm not necessarily organized, and my memory is not that great either. So sometimes it becomes a real big stress factor. You work through it, you push through it, and then it becomes easier as you manage.
Question 12, how do you manage your finances and taxes as an influencer? That must be a lot to juggle financially, so that must be a lot to deal with, to manage. What are some tools that you might use to go about handling your finances?
Well, firstly, I use TurboTax. Yeah, definitely not sponsored. I actually use TurboTax. I file my taxes by myself because I'm a huge advocate for learning financial fitness by yourself. I am not perfect. I'm not a tax professional. I don't know everything yet, but I'm slowly learning a little bit more as to how to build a personal brand / LLC to actually get some tax breaks as an influencer, because at the end of the day, you are a brand. But for the past couple of years, I have been filing taxes as a personal independent contractor / self-employed person, which does, it eats up taxes, especially in California. So I'm no tax professional yet, but I do recommend everybody to learn how to do taxes by themselves. I know a lot of people hire tax professionals, but when you start reading books about taxes and finances and actually learning it and doing it with your own 2 hands, you start learning a little bit more, and that's the only thing that you have in this lifetime is your knowledge. Nobody can take that from you, and you can't get screwed over when you have all the information in your own head. So I'm no professional, but I'm still learning, and that's just, I do everything on my own, so.
Question 13 is, what strategies do you use to keep your audience engaged and growing?
So a strategy that I use, which a lot of people may have not heard of yet, is posting content for virality versus posting content for your followers that are already on your page. There's a huge difference between trying to create content for virality purposes versus for content that for people that are already consuming your content. For example, for me, I know that my #1 thing that's gonna go viral is super short form, mostly transformation videos, because I'm a weight loss page, so that's my kind of secret. But even for a separate page, I would highly recommend going for 6-second long videos on Instagram with the trending sound. That is a viral piece of content right there. If you want to really engage your followers, however, you have to mix that up with content that people actually want to see. So you definitely have to think about the content strategy as far as what type of content you want to post, and definitely mix it up 50-50 so you're getting new people and keeping your old people.
Question 14, I guess it kind of still ties into question 13, but How do you stay updated with the trends and the changes in the algorithms? You wake up one day, something new is viral, something new is trending. So how do you keep tabs on that?
Every time I come across a video or a title of a video that says Instagram is changing their algorithm or YouTube is changing their algorithm, here's what's new, you definitely want to consume that content. You want to figure out what is new, what's updated. People of Instagram, the higher ups and the staffs, they're always updating people on what they're doing new with the algorithm, whether they're changing it from getting new people to view your content like in a TikTok form, or if they're just absolutely like sending all of your content to just people that follow you. They're always switching it up and trying to figure out new ways to keep the algorithm fresh. So you want to stay up to date with their updates because they're always updating the public, as well as using trending sounds. You always want to use those trending sounds that have less than 10,000 videos underneath the sound. And you'll see the trending sign by seeing a little arrow, a little diagonal arrow on the sound.
Question 15 is, what are your future goals and plans as an influencer?
So I definitely want to scale. I want to scale big time. I don't know if I want to scale as a personal brand. I mean, I definitely want to scale as a personal brand, but I want to
Well, hold on. Explain to them what you mean by scale.
Scale just means grow. Grow and have a larger audience, have a larger brand. So I definitely want to just multiply. Like, I have 160,000 followers right now, but I want 1 million, you know, like, not just because I want 1 million people to be following me. It helps you grow other businesses in the long term. Like, I'm working on an activewear brand as we speak. Having a following already is going to help me scale that business. In the future, if I ever want to grow any other businesses, I can continue to do that just by having a following already. It's a lot easier to scale your brand when you show off your personality, because if you think about it, there is nobody else like you on this planet. Whether it feels like it or not, you are a unique person, and people will follow you just because of maybe one thing that they relate to, whether it be the size of your stomach, the size of your foot, or the accent of your voice, or wherever you're from. And so that is a way to scale, and that's what I want to do in the future. I definitely want to turn it into businesses.
So that's all the questions. Just on like a personal note, what do you see social media growing into in the next 20 years?
I actually think a lot of the youth are gonna have to use social media as a job at this point. I have seen so many people in my life Nine to 5 jobs don't work. How was that?
We do not have to keep going.
No, it's okay. No, I'm gonna clean it up. Okay. Whew. Anyways, 9 to 5 jobs are not it anymore. For the youth, it's really, really hard to actually rely on a job. Unless you're going to school, or you have a family, or you have some sort of background on you, these jobs are gonna take everything from you.
Can you explain a little bit about what you mean by that?
They don't pay enough, for one. They don't pay a living wage, and it causes a lot of young people, especially young people without families, without parents, to crash out and self-destruct just because they think they're lost. They don't know where to go, what to do next. And I've always been an advocate for content creation just because it's a gateway. Everybody has a talent or a hobby, and I think everybody should monetize because they're not paying people anymore. And especially in this day and age, they're starting to use robots to take orders at fast food places. People don't even have the option to go into fast food anymore, which is the basic bare minimum job that you can get. And even going to school, it's not even worth it anymore, because even once you get a degree, some of these jobs still don't want you because there's still somebody that's better qualified, or there's somebody who has better tenure at that job. They've been there longer. And so you're lucky, really, if you land a good job that actually supports your life. And 9 times out of 10, if it does support your life, it's still buying all of your time from you, and you have absolutely no free time for your family, your friends, or even just to go to the gym to take care of your own health. And that'll just fuck you up in the long run. You'll just become the next 45-year-old person still working and trying to figure out how the hell they're gonna get their retirement at whatever retirement age is. What is it?
65.
Social Security doesn't even cover. Once people retire, they still have to go back to work and get a part-time job. So I'm a huge advocate for the youth definitely going into social media. It's gonna take over. They're closing down these jobs and giving them to robots. So, yeah.
I appreciate you coming on here and talking a little bit about, you know, what you go through as an influencer. The main reason I had this video idea was because I want to show the public, or the people that have already subscribed to my channel, because there's not a lot of people. What are we at, like 46, 47, almost 50? I want to show you guys that even with an account as low as mine, I have somebody with over 160,000 followers sitting right next to me talking to my 50-person audience. So I don't want you guys to ever give up when it comes to making it out of whatever situation you're in. You could say I'm lucky, you could say I'm resourceful, you could say a lot of things about me, but one thing you can't say about me is that I'm stupid, or that I'm not motivated or determined to show the world that there is a way out.
And just a side note, just a friendly reminder that influencers, your favorite people behind the screen, are people. They're just regular people. They're people that go to the grocery store, they're people that cook dinner, they're people that struggle when they go to sleep at night with something that's on their mind. Everybody's a regular person. It doesn't matter what kind of car they drive, doesn't matter where they live, they're just people. Everybody's people, we're all humans, we're all just a ball of atoms living on a floating ball we call a world. So don't take things too seriously. Don't follow your favorite influencer and think if you're not them that you're less than, because you're not. You could easily be that person. Just pick up a camera and become it. That's it. Believe it, see it, do it. That's it.
With that being said, I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for even staying. Engagement is at an all-time high for this new account. Followers are at an all-time high. Yay. Across all platforms. I'm so happy. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to keep making content and delivering bangers. So,
amen.
With that being said, I'll see you guys later until the next video.
Don't forget to subscribe.